Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. Welcome to the Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This show is brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. If you need a roadmap in crypto and you need to make money in crypto, then subscribe to this channel. Turn on the alerts bell so you know when we're going live. And if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up and a like. All right, let's see who's on the stream. Let's welcome everybody, right? We have Taz, of course. Happy Thursday. Crypto Comedy says, actually live. Yes, we are live. Aiken with the notorious love. Appreciate that. Kentucky, right? The Caribbean. Logan, good afternoon, right? All right, good morning from Reno, all right? West Coast. We have Germany, Oklahoma, South Dakota, right? We have Chile, right? We have Michael, welcome. All right, we have Ace Crypto coming in from the Middle East, Turkey, hello. Wisconsin, Sebastian giving me some of that notorious love. India, Paris, Arizona, West Virginia, I believe, right? East Coast, Jersey, New York, Florida, and of course, our friends from the United Kingdom, London, and in all other cities, right? Johnny Ice Cream from Pennsylvania, New York City, South Carolina, Jersey in the house, right? We always appreciate everybody who comes in, right? One day, we're all going to get big. We're all going to get famous on YouTube as the go-to source for figuring out geopolitics, macro, and crypto. All right. So one more shout out. We've got Nigeria, Bangladesh, California, White Moth. Hi. MC from Italy, Orlando. Welcome. Now let's dive in to your market update. No FOMO. Anybody who was on the show yesterday knows that I was running a crypto therapy booth for people who missed the rally, who were having a mental breakdown. I got to admit, it wasn't easy for me either. People who just wanted a FOMO in, and I was like, don't do it. Lots of 13 tops on the DeMark work, right, from the symbolic chart system. So if you like DeMark work, or you don't know what DeMark work is, stay tuned. I've also got on-chain overtime, but don't FOMO, all right? The market will always give you a chance. There will always be a dip. It doesn't move straight in one direction. All right. End of that lecture. Tokenmetrics.com, in honor of Women's History Month, is offering a lifetime 10% discount. So if you sign up and don't cancel, you will always get 10% off regardless of what happens with pricing. So if you want that discount, you want to know what small altcoins are performing in this market. There are small altcoins that are performing, right? As money floods into crypto, DeFi protocols may do better. A lot of good information on our ratings page. Can't give that away for free. That's for customers. So if you want to make money in an up or down market, tokenmetrics.com. Now, let's go to the geopolitical situation. Let me see if I can describe what's happening. Russia uses tanks and planes to invade Ukraine. The West responds with sanctions, and it turns out the sanctions led Russia to be kicked out of SWIFT, right? Creating a currency crisis and probably a depression in Russia. And then cancel culture is kicking in and they're confiscating yachts of oligarchs, pulling iPhones and Nike sneakers, and all kinds of stuff, right? People are pissed, so that's what they're doing. But here's the problem, folks. The Russians are fighting with tanks and planes, and the West is fighting with cancel culture, right? That seems to be a bit of a mismatch. So it's just a few notes about this. Wall Street Journal yesterday, I pulled the paragraph out, says, there's a possibility, analysts said, that Russia will seek to close the Ukrainian-Polish border to stop Western weapons from flowing in, a step that would increase, right, the risk of conflict involving NATO countries, of which Poland is one. Meaning everyone's like, wow, I can't wait to send anti-tank weapons to the Ukraine, sorry, right? All right, now we want to help the Ukrainians, of course, right? But is Russia going to allow that? I mean, these weapons are coming in to kill their soldiers. So everyone's like, okay, well, we've canceled Russia, and now we can order chicken wings on DoorDash and wait for Mr. Putin to give up. Yeah. Okay, Russian foreign minister says Russia will continue the war in Ukraine, quote, until the end. Okay, whose end? The Ukrainians' end? NATO's end? I don't know, folks. Don't blow this off. Now, this has implications for crypto. It could be good, right? But let's not buy into TV that we can cancel, Russian business and everything is okay. All right, let's take a look at food. We've been looking at oil. Let's look at food. This is Chicago Board of Trade wheat futures, right? Russia and Ukraine represent a huge chunk of wheat exports. So wheat shows 35% upside until it gets to a technical target that I drew. If you look at wheat on a monthly chart, wheat has not even gotten to its all-time high from 2007. So oil can go up, food can go up, right? Now, I understand people want to side with the Ukrainian people, but 30 or 45 days from now, when your grocery bill looks like an altcoin and it's doing a 1 or a 2x, right? I wonder how people are going to feel at that point. They may get more pissed, which puts us on a path to a possible hot war. Again, don't blow off the geopolitical situation because it's right here on the charts. Now, a little bit of trivia from Monkey Market, aka Equities. Going back to COVID in 2020, okay, this comes courtesy of one of my colleagues in our quant department. A reminder that Token Metrics is not just a YouTube channel, but a company, okay? On March 3rd, 2020, that was the high uptick, right? You had 2 more days to get out before equities cratered. Interesting, looking at my iWatch, today is March 3rd. So if equities, they're on a little bit of a delay in terms of processing bad news, let's see if there's any symmetry between COVID and the current geopolitical situation. Now, here's S&P futures, right? Not doing much, not doing anything terrible, all right? I make fun of the stock market, but, it's not doing anything terrible. 4305 is support, and below that, it's 4,000. Now, you might be asking yourself, is there a reason to sell stocks? Because you're like, I thought the Fed was going to back off on rate hikes, right? Because of all the stress in the banking system, right? Over people who have got loans to Russia and aren't going to get their money back. Like, why would anybody sell stocks? I don't get it. Well, here's a reason. This is RSX, a ETF that trades in the Western world on a U.S. stock exchange that tracks Russian equities. Now, as you might know, RSX has gone from 32 to 6, right? Those in crypto will be like, yeah, so what? They got wrecked. Well, in equities, you don't just sit around and go, gee, I got wrecked. These guys may have to start hedging their positions. That's how it works. If you're a fund manager, right, or a fund company, and you've got these securities that are on a fast track to zero, you may have to start selling something to try to protect yourself. And what would that be? Well, the most liquid instrument in the world is S&P futures. So there is a reason where there is a case that this Russian stock market problem can spill over into other stock markets like Europe or the US. So if like you're long European bank stocks as a fund manager, what can you do? Well, so you need to think about these things. Now let's talk about the euro, all right? The euro looks like, it wants to go from 110 to 107. That doesn't sound like a big move, but it is. Okay. The euro is dropping like a stone, mainly because I'm guessing the European Central Bank is going to have to massively flood their markets with liquidity, right? And of course, there's this whole, get out of the euro because of problems with their banks as it relates to Russian lending exposure. Now, you're probably going, gee, Bill, are we ever going to talk about crypto? Yes, we are. Because if the euro goes down, the dollar goes up. You'll notice DXY is in the green as of this recording. So if Bitcoin's down 4% or 3%, because the dollar index is up, I don't know, 0.5%, there's a case here on the chart for DXY to possibly break out of an expanding range. So follow me here. The euro goes down. There's a lot of reasons for that. The dollar goes up because remember, in legacy, when people freak out, they buy the dollar. So if the dollar goes up, then this head and shoulders top in Bitcoin. Remember yesterday when I said, don't FOMO, don't buy on the neckline resistance? I mean, dollar breakout means crypto break down. Now, we don't know that's going to happen. And, there's always mega bullish charts on up days, right? And mega bearish charts on down days, right? But I don't want to FOMO, right? Don't buy strength. Because if you wake up one day and the euro is collapsing and the dollar is smoking to the upside, what's going to happen to like metaverse altcoins? Are they going to get wasted, right? So that's why I'm like, all right, let's pick our spots. Let's be cool, right? And we'll go through the DeMark work later and check all that out. Now, speaking of DeMark work, down below, this is the Bitcoin 4-hour chart. DeMark's got a really smart stochastic called the DeMarker, right? It can really help show divergences and help predict tops and bottoms. At a minimum, my experience with this oscillator is that it helps predict volatility. So whether you get the direction right or not, volatility is coming in Bitcoin. The shaded areas at the bottom. You saw one at the early February top. You saw it again, near the bottom. There's a big puke on the invasion after, right? But still, it did turn and go higher. Now you're seeing kind of like a sell signal. So paying 44 for Bitcoin makes no sense. It made no sense. All right, let's talk about dip strategies. So in Bitcoin, we've been talking about 41K as support. That was resistance, all right? And then it might get tested as support, right? Now, if you were patient enough to not FOMO in at the top, what you may want to do today, March 3rd, is wait to see if there's a shitty equities close, right? That kind of drags everything down. And then you might be able to buy the dip in crypto. Because remember, as of now, the worse the geopolitical situation is, the more people want crypto. Now, that's debatable. It's debatable, right? Because I think a lot of people bought crypto assuming that the Russian population was going to buy massive amounts. I don't know if that's true or not. But I don't blame anybody who wants to buy the dip because crypto may be entering a new age, right? Or at least temporarily where crypto is a haven. But that doesn't mean you have to buy it and get smoked. It probably means you want to buy it when everyone is like giving up. Everybody who bought yesterday pukes it out today. At that point, at say 41K, that's a place to do a trading play, not investment advice. Now let's take a look at ETH. All right. So ETH, I have a point at 28.40. So if ETH is above 28.40, it's okay. If ETH is not above 28.40, it probably isn't. And it could go down to 2,700. Okay. On my DeMark charts, I have 2,750. So this is where I got the idea of a late day mega puke that could be a buying opportunity for a tactical trade. Now, just keep in mind, if you try to buy support in equities, you try to buy support in crypto, right? You're betting on the idea that if stocks go down, crypto will go up. No comment on that one way or the other. That's the crypto dream. So, if you buy support, know your risks and manage that risk with stops. Now, let's talk about no FOMO, right? So, Rune, my pet project, right? My box of chocolates under the bed, the guilty pleasure that I can't stop liking, was up like 10% this morning. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to go. But then I saw there was a fractal at 594. I was like, all right, Rune's going to take that out. And it did by a couple ticks, right? And then it went straight down, right? Like I wanted a FOMO psychologically, but the market is reminding me not to FOMO, even if you love it. All right. We are actively trying to get through to people who like Rune and the head of the Rune project, right? To talk more about why the bid's coming in. Total value locked has gone up, right? So we're trying to get all the information we can just in case this is the next one coin market. It happened in Solana. It happened in Avalanche. Phantom had a mind of its own. So did Near, Cosmos. Wondering if this is next. We don't know, but we're wondering. Okay, realistically, it has to be above $6.57 in order to get excited. So in sum, I have no problem buying the dip, right? You sell euphoria, buy despair, right? If you get smoked, it'll be because something bad happens with equities. But if you want to believe in crypto and buy the dip for a trading buy, right? Do it when everyone else is selling, right? And then we'll reevaluate, today or next day, tuning in for that DeMark work. Okay, and that is the market update. Make sure you stay tuned for on-chain overtime. All right, let's see what people are saying in the comments. All right. So somebody's asking, did we bottom? Right? We don't know yet. All right. It's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. Okay. But it's a good question. Wrong again says he's got bids at 2,600. Okay. Okay. We've got, let's see. Wrong again says Powell still raising rates, or is it a psyop? Okay, I think Powell's got to do something because that inflation number on March 10th, that would be 7 days away, can't be good. And it's going to be even more horrible with food and energy next month. But Powell's already said he's only doing 25 basis points, and it's understandable, right? They have to make sure the global banking system doesn't crater. Housing prices in the U.S. are out of control. So is inflation, but, world war could be on. So the primary job of government is to protect the people. And I don't think Powell wants to do anything that could cause risk assets to get wrecked. Okay. Somebody wants to take a look at Orion. I will check that out. Okay. Ace Crypto wants to know what happens if something happens to the internet. Okay. International internet cables. I don't know. Right. But don't expect the Russians to take an economic depression lying down. Okay. Don't expect that. Right. That would be a mistake. Somebody wants to know if existing customers can use the discount code. My understanding is existing customers are getting a very special email discount for Women's History Month. So check your email or check our private groups for more details. So existing Token Metrics customers are getting hooked up with a discount. All right. All right. Somebody said they've been in crypto for a while, Patrick, right? That crypto is really starting to make big profits when he switched to gaming and DeFi. All right. And we have Oregon and Romania in the house, along with the UK and Chicago. All right. Let's take a request. So we just got a request for Orion. Let's see if I can pull that up. And then I will go to on-chain overtime and then on to our DeMark charts where we can, give people a flavor. It's kind of very entertaining where we can look at how these top and bottom indicators change on intraday charts. Okay, so let's take a look at Orion. By the way, I know somebody out there is into VeChain. Speaking of the guilty pleasure, I think VeChain was actually up today. I was like, oh my God, that's making me so happy. All right. But like I said, don't FOMO. I have to tell myself that. Okay, so Orion protocol, okay, like a lot of things in crypto, right, kind of rolling over. I would say that you have to start getting worried, right? In other words, you want to see bulls come in front of $2.96 because that's a fractal on the 8-hour chart. So if they take it below 296, that won't be pretty. Okay, that won't be pretty. All right. Somebody's asking for Elrond. All right, let's look at Elrond on this chart, and then we'll try to look at Elrond elsewhere. Okay, so this is an 8-hour chart, right? One thing I would notice is that, this moving average system is kind of tangled up. So I don't know that there's a trade to be done in Elrond right this second. A lot of times when it's tangled up, you kind of stay out of it. But, if this thing accelerates lower, right? If support in Bitcoin doesn't hold, all of these altcoins are going to get smoked. Now, I don't really want to talk like that, but at the moment, there's not much to be done or said about Elrond, right? Because it's been pretty choppy. So let's just go and because some of this is a little bit more constructive. So I want to give you something happy to look at, or at least I hope so. So here is on-chain overtime. Now, short-term traders break even, okay? It's like short-term hodler SOPR in Glassnode speak. We track this to see if short-term traders are making money or losing money. So I guess the good news is, right, the volatility goes back and forth, but short-term traders are really they're not underwater. It's kind of like they're at break even. So if there's bad news, they could puke it all out. But right now, especially with Bitcoin being scarce and this idea of Bitcoin as a safe haven, right? If Bitcoin gets the support, these people may still be near break even. So not a crisis in terms of everybody panicking and getting out. Now, there's two ways to look at the next graph. Okay, these are April options for Bitcoin and how much is traded in each strike. So purple is put options. That's bearish bets or insurance against a downtrade. And the green is call options, right? Which you would, if you wanted to be bullish, you'd buy them. Or if you wanted to be, sort of not bearish, but you wanted to add yield to your portfolio, you would sell the calls even though you own Bitcoin. So what am I trying to get to with this graph? Well, look at the purple bars. Those are the puts. Those are the bearish insurance plays, right? This for April. So, people have got their insurance and stuff for March, but what are people thinking for April? Okay, well, the Russian foreign minister just told you, like, we're fighting this to the bitter end. And nobody in the Bitcoin options market is particularly interested in puts until 35K. So Bitcoin has got room from 44 to 35 before anybody's insurance kicks in. Now, there's two ways to look at that. One, nobody's terribly worried about Bitcoin going below 35. Okay, that's cool. I can buy that. Okay, you could also say that if there was a negative catalyst or a shit show in stocks, that Bitcoin could go right to 35 because, nobody's protected between 44 and 35. So we'll see what happens, right? Do people have a lot of confidence in Bitcoin, right? They want insurance, but they're not freaking out. Or are people too complacent? We'll find out. Okay, now some positive Kool-Aid, all right? If you look at Bitcoin versus the Russian ruble, Bitcoin versus the ruble, obviously because the ruble is depreciating, Bitcoin versus the ruble is now back to where it was in November of 2021. It's back at the US Thanksgiving peak, right? And if Bitcoin versus the dollar went to the same level, that's 59K. So think about it, right? Nobody's too worried about Bitcoin downside. Equities are a mess, right? And I guess if there was a big break above 46 or 47, Bitcoin could go to 59. So there is a reason to try to buy a dip in Bitcoin, right? You have to use a stop. You have to acknowledge that you can get wrecked or get stopped out because of equities. But, if I remember from 2017, my first Bitcoin conference was the Texas Bitcoin Conference. And at that conference, they had somebody from Zimbabwe there where they had a currency crisis. And he told everybody that Bitcoin was trading like, 30 to 40% higher than where it was currently in the US market. And sure enough, Bitcoin started to take off right from there. So there's a case for crypto in a world where you have a currency problem. You just want to make sure you're buying support with a stop. You were selling euphoria and buying despair until that doesn't work anymore. All right. So that's on-chain overtime. All right. All right. So somebody's making money off what we're talking about. That's good. I appreciate that. All right. I'll try to get to Alchemists. Somebody says Cosmos is about to lead the market. Right. That could be true. Like layer 0. Right. Okay. And I know Elrond is in there. So let's go to the chart program and start going through altcoins, right? Because I know that is why y'all are here. Now, let's just take a look. Let's just start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So these are 90-minute charts. I'm kind of zooming in here, right? So we had the puke to 2,800 and then it bounced. So everybody probably thinks it's over. And what happens when everyone thinks it's over? It's not. Okay. I'm guessing the 62% retracement at 2,750 might be where they wick it down to. They could wick it down to 2,700. I don't know. Just let them kill it. Let them kill it today. Right. And then take it from them at the end of the day if you're a dip buyer. So let's look at the 90-minute chart of Bitcoin. All right. So just a reminder, we had the 13 top up here. All right. For anybody who's new, the DeMark indicators, the original quant TA guy from back in the 80s, right? He'll count a certain set of conditions. Like, I don't know, the high is higher than the high 3 days ago. And he's got one set of conditions that go 1 through 9. Then when you see the 9, you go, uh-oh. That's why this 9 here is big in print. Then when you get another set of conditions that goes to 13, well, that can be your exit signal, or at least your warning that an exit is appropriate. You may get a blow off, but 13s and 9s help prevent FOMO, and they help you buy dips, right, in big trends. So what we're noticing here is, Bitcoin is doing on the short-term chart an ABC correction, right? There's support down here because one thing that is cool about DeMark is that his methodologies draw support and resistance automatically. It's cool, right? So conveniently, he's got support at 41,300. Funny how we had support there from other methods. Okay. So let's go to altcoins. Right? Because I know people that they've got a couple requests. So let's hope the computer holds up here as we're bringing it up. All right. Looks like we got a computer issue. Let's go to Cosmos on this other chart because I know people are interested in Cosmos. Right? Cosmos barely moving today. Right? So Cosmos was up big, right? And I think the level in Cosmos that you have to sort of say, all right, you know, if it really starts to move above 3307, it kind of triggered the bull signal today, but it's really got to get above 3307. And if it is, right, it's probably going to the next level, which is 37. So somewhere in here, especially if Bitcoin and Ethereum hold on a dip, there are altcoins that are going to hold up and do better. Okay. So let's try this one more time. All right, let's get symbolic back up again. Okay, I'm launching the workspace now. Okay. All right, so just quickly, here's crypto.com. All right, we talked about not FOMOing in because of the 13 top, but there's pretty good support. Okay, right around, I guess, 41 cents. So if you get the big late day flush in crypto.com, right? Okay, let's see if we can clear this picture up. You know, you may get a new high, right? It is possible that if you look at the red number ones, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's possible if 41 cents holds that you get a 5 up to say above 45 cents. I don't know, who knows, maybe 50 cents, right? You want to think bullish on down days, right? Until that doesn't work anymore, honestly. Okay, looking at a 4-hour chart of Cosmos. All right, Cosmos is hanging in. No real sign that it wants to correct with support around 3160. Okay, now let's go to Luna because I know people were interested in that. Okay, this is the 4-hour chart of Luna. Now, remember yesterday I had this thing. If Luna takes out 93, it can go much higher, right? 93 was resistance. You had the 13 tops here. Now Luna is corrected. Now, I guess if it really gets ugly, Luna can come back to 75. All right. That may be, you know, kind of extreme, but the DeMarker stochastics indicator is sort of letting you know that, you know, if you missed Luna, then you may be able to get it on a dip. Okay. Let's go to Cardano's 4-hour chart. All right. Cardano is approaching a 9 bottom. So there may be one more big puke in Cardano, right, which could set up a buying opportunity. All right. Phantom, I know another popular altcoin. Okay. So Phantom really got smacked right after it hit 210. A lot of total value locked came in, right? Now, this is at a 5, which could mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So if it's a 4-hour chart, you know, maybe a phantom bottom shows up, I don't know, tomorrow, day after that, right? It's worth seeing. Now, Rose, a lot of people want to talk about Rose, okay? Right around, say, 23 cents, okay? So if there's a late day puke, right, that really hurts Rose, right? I know it's kind of got a head and shoulders bottom going on, but you may get better prices. All right, let's also take a look here. Okay, people asking for 1 inch. Okay, so interesting. Okay, going to try one more thing. Okay, here comes the 4-hour chart of 1 inch. All right. So again, 13 top on March 1st, and then they're just hammering it, right? So, you may be looking at $1.25, right? Either that or it's support at $1.37. This just underscores the point. You got to be careful in altcoins, right? You can buy Bitcoin or ETH on the dip, but if you buy a speculative coin, right, and Bitcoin and ETH or stocks turn around, you can get really hurt, right? Especially if you're wrong, frankly, stuff that is low quality. Okay, let's take a look at Elrond. All right, so good news for Elrond fans. There's pretty good support at 145, and it's at like a 7. Okay, so that might mean, another 8 hours where Elrond could be weak. This is March 3rd. So, if this is one of these coins that is decent, which it probably is, then maybe, it's a sign that you can take a shot at that. Hey, someone's asking for VeChain. Okay, VeChain, of course. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how great it is. And I FOMO'd, and then I was like, don't FOMO. Okay. VeChain, here's the 13 top. And then there are these levels that the DeMark system buys where a blow off top could go, which is exactly what happened. And now VeChain's going the other way. So, you might have a substantial correction in VeChain if this kind of falls apart. Okay, let's go to our other list. Okay, where I've got SNX on this one. And again, SNX, if 377 holds, you can make a case to try SNX if ETH bottoms out, right? I know that's probably bullish Kool-Aid, but I can't get enough. I can't get enough of some of these smaller coins, at least psychologically, right? I don't want to get wrecked though. Okay, let's take a look. Let's look at AVAX. Okay, we're going to go to the 4-hour chart. AVAX, I haven't done the full deep dive on it because I'm so busy on charts. But with AVAX, there may be a token unlock going on there. All right. So the good news is, despite the token unlock, there's a lot of support in Avalanche at 77.41, right? And a 9 bottom. Now, a 9 bottom doesn't guarantee that it's going to turn around. There should be some kind of counter trend rally, at least you hope, right? So Avalanche may have done its underperforming puke. You'll know if it can hold 77.40 by the end of the day, right? Okay. So Gala, I know that's probably on our metaverse list, but I'll just type it in quick here. Okay, again, on the 4-hour chart, you probably got 8 more hours, right? This candlestick here where it rushes up and comes off, not a particularly good sign. So don't FOMO in. If you see people giving up on an altcoin that you like, say at the end of today, right? You want to take the shot. Okay, take the shot, right? Right. I was telling you not to buy resistance. So I'm not going to tell you to not buy support. Well, that's a tongue twister, right? So if everyone's given up, you can take a shot, right? And if you get hosed, it'll be because Bitcoin or equities broke down. Okay. Ben J says AVAX not showing relative strength anymore. Okay. Liquidity is moving over to Phantom. All right. Now, somebody is noticing that another guilty pleasure, QNT, has got some jump to it. Let's check it out. All right. Now, interesting, right? We talked about QNT and sellers being up there at 130, right? 130.43 is where the resistance is in QNT. But I don't see a 13 top or a 9 top. So maybe this whole idea of like stablecoin or central bank digital currency, I guess, plumbing or network, almost like a decentralized replacement for Swift, could be interesting. Okay. Alchemix. All right. So as suspected, right, Alchemix gets the 9 top up here, right? That was March 1. And now it's breaking support and it's only at a 6 on that countdown. I'm sorry, on that setup. That's the 1 through 9. So probably more downside in Alchemix, and you have to be careful of the give up trade. You have to be careful that people just panic and puke stuff out, right? All right. So I did Luna already, right? But we have ICP. So like we were saying all along, right? Here's the 13 top. Here's the blow off top level. Massive FOMO this morning. What do I always say? Don't FOMO. Okay. I would guess Internet Computer Protocol probably has support at $18.13. Okay. Ken's asking for Solana. Solana has really hurt people. I gotta tell you, right? Like we had guys getting out in the 80s, then it rips up. Okay. And where does it rip up to? Right to 107. Right. It takes out all of these resistance points, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, like a whole day up above 100. Everything's okay, right? It's time to FOMO in, right? Wrong. No FOMO. Okay. The good news in Solana is that there is support at 92. So if they puke it at the close today, March 3rd, that's when you might take your shot at a dip. Okay. That's when you might take your shot. Okay. Let's take a look at Polkadot. By the way, folks, a lot of custom chart work here, right? Symbolic is not a free service. So please give us a like. Please hook us up so we can help continue to bring you the best analysis out there. All right. Polkadot is hanging around, right? A DeMark level around $18. So this idea of layer 0, right? Cosmos, Polkadot, Polkadot could be trading worse. So there's support at 1748, right? All right. And, who knows? Polkadot, if the market turns around, maybe Polkadot has a shot at 20. Polkadot could have a shot at 20. Right. But obviously, you want to see the puke into the close or whatever puke there's going to be, and then have, Polkadot hold, and maybe there's a layer 0 bounce. Okay. I see Cosmos is still up on the day. Let's just check the market. So, ETH is holding and Bitcoin is not falling apart. So I guess that's at least good. Let's wait for the close. All right. Somebody's asking for XRP. Understandably, a lot of hope that XRP could wind up being, a swift alternative. It's not the worst idea in the world, right? That's kind of why they built it as a rapid payment system. They just got in trouble with Uncle Sam. But if they're not in trouble with Uncle Sam anymore, all right, then, XRP is interesting. Could be interesting, right? So XRP is finding support around 75 cents. Now, I think part of the problem with this is that the next rally will be a 13 top in XRP. So I'm guessing XRP is in a range between 75 cents and 78, right? You also have to be careful if it does break 75 cents, okay? Somebody's talking about near getting close to the 200-day moving average. I know someone is asking for, that's Axia, right? I'm going to have to do Axia over here. Why do I get this sick feeling that Axia just exploded through whatever resistance level I was talking about? This thing is such a freaking beast. God. All right. So Axia is above 1279. All right. So this new form of money, they want it. So let's see. Obviously, this moving average system continues to be bullish. Tough to argue with this. It still looks like a blow off top to me, but I'm not going to try to talk anybody out of this. Okay. So if you're looking for the next level is 1396, right? And then if it goes ballistic, it's probably up to 18. Let me just make an adjustment in here quick. All right. So actually what I would tell you is the next level is probably 1497. So if you've got a moon bag of Axia, right? And by the way, where did they get Axia from? This was a highly rated Token Metrics coin that helped you catch this on the way up. So tokenmetrics.com, okay? The Axia move paid for multiple years of a subscription, just saying. All right. All right. So we have, okay, yeah, we had somebody who wanted to look at near. So let's do that. This is going to be tricky because I was looking at this before. So all right, so near has got a 9 top. And one things we talked about 9 tops is they can result in just a simple counter trend move. So a 9 top isn't normally a mega top. It can be, but maybe not. So near, okay, has a prior high, right? In other words, 1082 was a high back in February 18th, and that's where kind of the huge decline started from. So near has broken above that and has retested 1082. So if there's no puke at the end of the day, right, let's take a look and see what the DeMarker stochastic looks like on this. Just to make sure. Okay. So there is kind of a not a super scary, but there's a warning about a top in near. All right. So if near holds 1082, it's okay. If it doesn't, it's not. Right. So if you like near and it holds 1082, then near's probably going back up. And if not, near may wind up correcting because it has been outperforming. Okay. Hello from Luxembourg. Welcome. Okay. Let's see if I can get Ocean on this. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the right symbol. Sometimes the symbols in here are a little bit difficult. So Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. All right. So we have support around 46 cents. Okay, let's just make sure I got the right thing here. I don't want to chart the wrong thing and have that live forever on YouTube. Okay, so I do have the right symbol there, right? Ocean's trying to bounce. Okay, it's trying to hold up. All right, I would say this level right around 46 cents. And if that doesn't hold, it's 43. Okay. Okay, somebody's asking for ABT. Is that okay? All right. So people undoubtedly suffering in ABT, right? There's 313 bottoms and it's not rallying. Okay. So, they get, it's down today, right? But one of the things that you need when you get these 13 and 9 bottoms is you need to see it turn around and start going the other way. So there is reason for hope because you've got the 13 and the 9 in close proximity. Last time you got this, you got like a 1 cent rally. Okay. But there's been enough bottoms in this where you have to ask yourself, okay, let's try the daily chart. You have to ask yourself, okay, if there's all these bottoming signals and it doesn't bottom, what does that tell me? Okay. Someone was asking for Matic earlier. Let's take a look at Matic. I do want to be long layer 2s at some point. Okay. Matic showing decent support at $1.52. And I guess if they puke it, $1.45. So I'm optimistic in Matic. Unfortunately, this sort of warning thing sucks here, right? So, yeah, I like it, but you want to get it when everyone's given up on it. Make them sell it to you at discounted prices. So $1.52 is attractive. $1.45 is better. Okay, someone's asking for sand. Let's go to the metaverse. All right, sand had support at 315. It didn't hold, right? A 9 bottom's probably coming in the next hour. I think you can see people want to buy the dip in this. If it gets ugly, it'll go to 287. I would guess if ETH holds 2,700, that sand and Decentraland might also be buys. Okay. Nothing really excellent happening in, let's see, let's check the 4-hour chart. So this is the 4-hour chart of Decentraland. So again, like Sandbox, been sort of hammered. We're at 8 out of 9. So the next down trade will probably help Decentraland put in the bottom for sort of a counter trend bounce. Okay. At least we hope. All right. Okay. Someone was asking for theta. Okay, so here's theta on a 4-hour chart, right? 13 top, attempt at a blow-off top, sick-looking candle, right? Now what it's doing is it's coming back to a level where it was like a prior ceiling. So, there was tops here on the 21st, right? On the 27th, it was the level where everything broke out from. So you've got to see theta hold $3. But this doesn't really look bad, okay, because, this could be a 4-wave, right? This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and there could be a 5-wave up, right? So, yesterday I was like err on the side of selling. Today, it's like if you have a quality altcoin, it has a story, and you want to take a shot, well, take a shot when they're killing it. Speaking of them killing it, let's see what's going on. Let's do one more market check. So, Bitcoin is kind of holding. ETH does look, it looks bad, and it looks like they maybe want to puke it into the close. So let's just stick with our strategy here. Equities aren't doing anything. Guess that's good. But ETH is still not above our 2843 point. So maybe there's one final puke, right? Somebody says there's not enough likes. There are never enough likes. All right? Don't make me have to ration DeMark work. Hit the like button. Okay? So let's take one more look at Ethereum before we go. Oh. Okay, let's try Bitcoin instead. All right, so there's that. So we're at a green 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That could be a day, day and a half, okay? Or they could just heave it into the close, right? They heave it into the close or the end of the day U.S. time, everyone loses their mind, and then you pick it up at 41. All right, but we did get the 300 likes, and I do want to tell everybody that I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you supporting our channel. Like I said, one day we'll be huge. All right, folks, that's the top of the hour, right? That's it for me. I will be here tomorrow. No FOMO. Make them give it to you at a good price. All right, and keep your eye on both equities and be realistic about the geopolitical situation. All right, stay tuned here for updates on all those things. So Ace Crypto, Andy, Joshua, Taz, appreciate you. Notice, thank you. Okay, Litspid, thank you. Lightspid, JG, Ben, right? We appreciate all of you out there. Goodbye. This is your host, Bill Noble. I will see you tomorrow.